Sorry about that. Don't know why it froze. Guess I'll just edit the fucking game before I boot it. That is the thing it does, so. Anyways. Back to what we were doing. We were watching a video. We're watching this video.
Can't see it.
Wait a minute. Okay, I was just checking if the audio was there.
Let me show you what it looks like. Do you know what this is? Ooh.
Keep it together, man. Millennials, guys,
You
I
gotta
love you.
stop.
I'm going to bat
You
for you
gotta
today.
stop.
I'm your unpaid defense lawyer, but this is troubling.
It's pumpkin spice cream cheese for my crispy bread. I'm gonna eat my crispy bread right now.
Okay. I know who the culprit is, Jim Carrey. This is your fault. You did this. You see, the problem is the only person who can be Jim Carrey without being intensely annoying is Jim Carrey, and he barely makes the cut.
I was thinking apple slices, but that's a little weird. But if they were cooked apple slices, maybe.
Okay, the sound of her teeth hitting the
why did
knife
you
was
bite
incredibly
it?
upsetting, but I can persevere.
As someone that
I can get
bites
through this.
metal a lot, you shouldn't bite it. I have a permanent chip in my tooth, my front tooth now because of it.
So you can probably guess the reception of this woman's content based on the suggested search at the top of the screen,
Wait.
Auntie Lisa Normal, indicating that most TikTok users do not perceive these videos as normal. Did I have to look away from the screen to prevent my skeleton from writhing out of my own skin? Yes. But will I ever be this happy about anything ever in my life? Absolutely not. I could literally hold my firstborn in my arms, fresh and slimy out of the womb, and my joy would still not compare to the pure ecstasy this woman is experiencing over pumpkin spice cream cheese.
Time for sticky snack. It's a snack. It's a snack.
Okay, so my cringeometer has reached max capacity. I cannot handle seeing chewed up food in people's mouths. It's literal torture for me. If I am ever captured by enemies of the state, waterboarding will be unnecessary. Just force me to watch videos of people chewing with their mouths open. I will spill so many government secrets. But hey, we can call this woman cringe all we want, but she has over 1 million followers and is far happier than any of us will ever be, so who's the real winner? Auntie
So
Lisa
she
is
is.
often included in millennial core compilations, so she'll be an important piece of the puzzle as we build our profile for what Gen Z perceives as millennial humor and finding out why my generation hates it so much. Let's keep looking.
I'm so excited that Taylor Swift gets to be small girl
And I've seen
with Travis
all,
Kelce
because this is a
because he
compilation, so
large
this
boy,
is.
and she gets to be small girl.
Ah, yes, just
Why
a
are you yelling?
small
Why are you
girl
yelling in
pop
your car?
star
Why are you doing
with
that?
a very large carbon footprint because of her very
One of the biggest carbon
large
footprints in the
private
world,
jets. This woman
actually.
turned off her comment section, so I can only imagine that the judgment of the TikTok mob was swift and brutal. Is it time? Is it time to retire small and large? I think those words might be in the nursing home already.
Oh, she gets to be small girl. Small girl, she always dates these medium men, and now she has a large boy. You just make a little take. Let her be small girl.
The Taylor Swift fans truly impress me. I'm barely interested in what's going on in my own life, much less the life of a random celebrity. Doing a baby voice at what in a healthy economy would be her mortgage-paying age is I think what annoyed people, but all I can hear is Gru from Despicable Me, a movie that produced one of the worst songs Pharrell Williams ever made,
This is what I look
Despicable
like when I go to the
Me.
gym.
That
Not gonna lie.
happy. When I hear that song, I become very unhappy,
Despicable
Mr.
Me.
Williams.
There will be no spooky haircut this year. Just kidding! Spooky haircut! Spooky haircut! Spooky haircut! Spooky haircut!
This person is 27. But they look like they're 15 and a half, so
I don't wanna-
guess the
I don't wanna
Steven
be rude.
Universe
I don't
fandom
wanna
is
be
doing
rude.
wonders.
I don't want to be rude because, pride and shit, but like their teeth, very yellow. Very yellow teeth. You don't need to like. You just like brush some more. I'm just saying, like, come on. Look at this skin, by the way. Isn't this fucking sick? Oh wait, can you even see what I'm looking at right now? Why does this always happen to me? Okay, there we go. Alright. Hopefully this isn't fucking Crash.
For the aging process. By 27, I expect I'll need a facelift and both knees replaced and will be unable to get spooky haircuts because all of my hair will have fallen out due to the stress of watching our democracy crumble in real time, intercut with funny cat videos while scrolling social media.
I saw on TikTok that you can buy those cheese graters. Can you buy those cheese graters?
You can buy those cheese graters.
Can I get one?
Yes, you can.
You are
it come
too
with cheese?
happy for this.
It can. Do you want it?
Yes. Sorry, everybody.
She seems very sweet, but hearing her echoing screeches as I'm sitting alone in a booth consuming enough rounds of endless pasta to bankrupt the entire Olive Garden franchise would throw me off my groove a little bit. By the way, guys, stop asking the waitstaff for the cheese graters. I read in the comments section that apparently enough people have been demanding these that the servers don't even have enough to get through their shift. You can just buy them off the evil Jeff Bezos website for like $20. Leave the waiters alone. This isn't Disneyland. The only thing magical about Olive Garden is how quickly they will escort you out of the building when you've almost eaten your money's worth.
As a 28-year-old toddler that spills everything like that.
Do you think she dropped the cup on purpose? Or would an elaborate plan like that be too complex for a 28-year-old toddler? Calling yourself a 28-year-old toddler sure sounds like a method a Discord moderator would use to lure its prey into a private server.
I can't use glass, right? Because that gives you stitches.
Ow, be careful with your skull. We wouldn't want you to regress back to a 28-year-old infant, now would we?
You're talking stainless steel.
Hey,
you
have
okay?
Have
Are
you
you
noticed
okay?
how quirky and clumsy she is? I'm just making sure that you guys are picking up on the subtext. That's my job.
Things around me at like waist level seem to just fly away from me like shit. And I'm like, ah! And then someone's like, why'd you throw that at me? And I'm like, me? I had nothing to do with that. So that's why I need plastic.
How long is this video? I feel like I've visibly aged since we started.
Someone says, why'd you throw that glass in my face? I'm like, you didn't give me plastic.
I think at 28 years old, you shouldn't need the people around you to child-proof your environment so they can avoid injury. Because you're not a child. I'm beginning to feel a burning sense of anger as I'm watching this.
So stainless steel is a big liability and you don't want to hand this to me because it could literally break your nose and give you a concussion.
I think I'm afraid of this woman.
What is going on?
The anger has turned to fear.
I was at my friend Tristan's wedding. I clanked the maid of honor upside the skull with a glass cup about 3 times and then shoulder checked.
Why?
Sorry, could we get a welfare check on the maid of honor, please? People thought she was slurring her words during the speech because of the champagne, but it was actually because her brain was hemorrhaging after being attacked on the dance floor by a quirky millennial.
Because whoever's in my fucking proximity, that's the
Like
outcome.
quirked
I don't
up
know
white
how to
girl.
stop it. I'm trying!
Okay, I think I've
I
hit
don't know
my
what's going on
cringe
with this
quota
one. I
for
don't
the
know what's
day,
going on.
and at this point we have enough information
I'm
for
just
our
confused.
profile. All of these videos have been labeled as millennial humor, and while all of them are different, there is a very obvious common theme. All of these people are acting very childish. And I can see why these videos would irritate my generation. A generation that was forced to grow up very quickly. This type of humor might be super cute coming from a middle schooler, but it feels painfully fake and forced coming from someone in their late 20s to early 40s. Here's the catch though, this isn't really millennial humor. This is mostly
Robot
white,
Spider-Man.
former theater kid millennial humor.
I hopped into a coffee shop, and then my jaw dropped in shock when I saw a girl who had cool pants. They made me want to dance. I started to advance to tell her, and
It almost got me me, but I dodged it. This is a specific subset of millennials that refuses to grow up in a lot of ways and start adulting, as they would say.
I'm a female millennial, which means I've been diagnosed with the anxieties. Am I a real adult? No. Not even a little bit. But I'm shaped like one. Hashtag adult shaped.
Millennials that were likely negatively affected
did you hear
by
that
the
no
cold
one laughed at
parenting
that?
style of their Gen X
Crazy
and
that no
boomer
one thought that was
parents.
funny.
This is how you get Disney adults. The thing is, these people tend to be more
This skin is
active
fucking
on
sick,
social
by the way.
media, so they disproportionately represent
I
their
think this is, like,
generation, making it
fan-made,
seem
but
like a
it's really
large
fucking sick.
percentage of millennials act this way. Just like how not every Zoomer is doing TikTok dances on public sidewalks, not every millennial is having a breakdown at Harry Potter World. Now, I unfortunately have to take a quick sidebar
Wait,
here
why
and
was she
call my
breaking down?
generation out for something. While doing research for this video, I saw some of the most vile, dehumanizing, and cruel comments, especially under the TikToks of Fuzz99 and Auntie Lisa. I genuinely dislike watching their content. It is not for me, but these people have done nothing wrong, and they do not deserve to be treated this way. So I want to ask my followers to go to Fuzz99 and Auntie Lisa's TikTok pages and spread a little positivity there. But hold on, millennials, don't get too comfortable. I'm not letting you off the hook just yet. As your unpaid defense lawyer, I may have absolved you of the cringe charges, but that doesn't mean that a lot of you guys aren't active participants in forcing a wedge between two of the most disenfranchised generations of modern history. Somehow, many of you seem to have forgotten what it felt like to be mocked and belittled by your parents and grandparents. You get on
one's
TikTok,
also
pause
kinda
for
cool.
way too long at the beginning of the video, and
It's
post stuff
cyberpunk
like
inspired.
this.
Things millennials grew up with that would send
It's
Gen Z into a
Samurai.
coma. Like our phones literally bent in
Samurai.
half, and then when we
Samurai.
hung up, we just snapped the phone in half.
You cute kids. You can have our 90s fashion. Take it. It's kind of epic. But you'll never understand.
You just said epic.
Give me some.
You just said epic.
Cause I ain't the one. Gone.
Throw on my skinny jeans, shove my rolls inside, and I scream from the top of my lungs, screw you, Gen Z.
How do you guys manage to infantilize Gen Z while also having beef with us at the same time? Most people in our
That's kinda
generation
crazy that you're
actually
having
had
beef
very
with
similar
people that you claim to be
childhoods to
children.
millennials as far as technology was concerned. My first phone was a flip phone, and all my favorite cartoons
Same.
were on VHS tapes. Also, there was less
Same.
than 100 cases of
And I'm younger
teenagers
than this
eating Tide Pods in
creator.
2018. Can we just address that? Less than 100 in an entire generation. The generation you're actually describing, the helpless kids who can't spell their own names and can't go more than 5 minutes without a screen, is actually Gen Alpha. The generation you're raising. Or, I'm sorry, your iPad is raising.
Sticking out your gap for the Riddler. You're so skibbity. You're so Phantom Tax.
Here's the thing, Gen Z. This cycle is just going to keep happening. For as the sun sets on the age of the doggo and reaches its zenith, pouring its warm light over our memes, Skibbity Toilet is peeking over the horizon, and we have an opportunity to stop this tradition of previous generations hating and resenting
Nope,
the
wrong one.
next. The cognitive development of Gen Alpha has been severely impacted by COVID and by the internet, and we can either give them a hand up to overcome these disadvantages, or we can just do what older generations have done and kick them while they're down. Generational feuds are incredibly stupid and pointless. No one ever actually wins, and it distracts us from what we all should actually be doing. Coming together to rise up and overthrow the ruling class. Anyways, guys, I hope you enjoyed this heckin' video, but I'm just a small bean, and I'm really tired from adulting all day, so I think I'm gonna end it here. Bye-bye. I'm not gonna do it anymore.
What the fuck?
now your yacht for the Rizzler.
No.
So skibidi.
That Carl.
It's so Phantom Tax. What the fuck is Phantom Tax?
Welcome to a
my
middle
fucking
class
ears, bro.
house where the youngest always gets what they want. Just like every house. When the youngest says they want something, it is a reckoning for the rest of the household. If they do not get what they want, it shall be the end of days before the days may begin. Or something like that. Thomas Wu. A 25-year-old boxer or something, I don't really know. More importantly, he's famous on a little tiny baby app known as TikTok. Yes, we all know TikTok. It's it's not a little app. You got baited. You thought I was gonna say something like Kick or something? No! He's actually kind of pretty famous. I didn't even know he was a boxer until I made this video, though, because I didn't care to look into his idiocy, because he was cringy. His content mainly just exists to gain clout off of his younger sister and other people that they hang out with for his younger sister. See?
The youngest
always gets
what they want.
Like, one of their main forms of content is just being like, hey, look, followers, pick which one gets boba. You may be thinking, what's the point of that? Well, their original video had to do with the younger sister being like, oh, Dad, who's driving the car while Thomas records me, I really want boba. Boba specifically. I don't care where we're going, what we're doing. I want the boba, the tapioca balls in the bottom of some tea. That's what I want. And of course, Thomas recorded it, posted it with the caption of like,
my younger sister is so spoiled and annoying. Oh my god.
and then followed it up with another big video of him mocking her, which is great. Content. Yep. If people like it, people like it. There's nothing you can do about that, right? Well, smash cut to here in the future. We have somebody joining the picture. Veronica Koste. She's Russian, I'm pretty sure. They make a lot of jokes about that and how she just talks so scary. She's so scary when she talks. She is a 19-year-old content creator. She was part of a whole community. I don't know if she was big or whatever. It doesn't matter. She was dating somebody, and then she started hanging out with Thomas and Amelia Wu. Amelia being the younger sister. So Thomas records them, right, in this sushi stop. This sushi stop is great and cool. They let Amelia order, apparently, and she got a lot of food. Oh, look at that. Look how much sushi it is. But here's what he had to say. This is what he says about them doing their thing.
Look at these teenagers always texting.
Yes, he refers to them as teens. And you may be thinking, what's so wrong about that? What's so wrong about the word teen? Oh, nothing inherently. Until you decide to pursue one of them romantically as a 25-year-old? Yes! There is something wrong with that. Not even inherently. I think it is despicable, disturbing at best. So he goes on to romantically pursue Veronica. Yes, and you may be thinking, how do you have proof of this? Most people wouldn't even know that because they're not outright about it. But look at this. You see that and go, they're not romantically interested or active or together or anything. He even refers to her as his girlfriend in this. And you know, it's just a little TikTok snippet video. There's no proof in it. Yeah, but everybody is saying it, and they're not saying no, that's not happening. Again, the problem is that he decided, oh, I am going to date somebody. I'm romantically interested in this person, but I called them a teen. I'm 25 years old, and I like this. Oh, I hate it. I hate it. I despise it. You know, adult content is everywhere nowadays, and it does kind of destroy people's brains. Not even a little bit, a lot. So I don't put it past a lot of society to think this way and not think anything wrong with it, because they see it everywhere. But somebody who's 25 years old should probably know that they shouldn't date somebody when they're 25 who they perceive as a teen, because that is wild. I'm a 19-year-old. Spoiler alert. And if I were to ever think about dating somebody who is 25 years old, I would scream. You are 1/4 of my age, a quarter of my age, older than me. That's insane. For 5 years, I have lived and done so many things and learned so much and grown so much, and you are that much older than me? That is crazy. But there is nothing inherently wrong with what they are doing. What they are still currently doing, because she is an adult. She's allowed to make her own decisions, even though it is strange. But that's only my opinion. You may have a different opinion, but there are some things you are not allowed to have opinions about. There are some things that are just facts. Things that are what they are, no matter what you do. So, I have a fair warning to everybody watching. This video is about to take a turn that is not fun, it is not cool. Though I may have the same tone, the same jokey little tone, I hate Thomas Wu. He has done things that are not cool. Not cool at all. So again, fair warning, proceed with your own caution. Here we go.
Open your mouth, I'm putting it in. Open your mouth wide. I'm putting it in. Open your mouth wide.
I think this might actually work. What the fuck is he saying?
Okay, right down. All the way down. Yeah.
Wow, it worked.
Oh my god. What? Let's play the game,
What the
guys. Are
fuck?
they dating? Oh, they're related. These aren't
Dating
the only videos
or
that you see out there of
siblings?
these two being a little too goddamn close. But remember, we cannot fault Amelia for what is going on. Too young to understand what is happening
cannot
to her.
fault-
That's why there's a law in place
We
for these
cannot.
things, Thomas. You imbecile, you fool, you loser, buffoon, piece of garbage under my feet. See, I've covered things like, assaulting. You can't do that to people. You can't SA people. You can't flash children. You can't do that. But this is by far the worst thing I've ever covered. And it doesn't stop here. These aren't even the worst videos I found. Sure, he's being really close to her. He's touching her in ways that just, you don't do to your sibling. You really don't do that. Oh my god. There's no excuse for your actions, Thomas. And I proceed to make this video, even against my better judgment, because I feel the need to expose you. When you have 1.2 million subscribers on YouTube and 6 on TikTok, where so many people see your content, and they see this, they're gonna think it's normal and okay to be this way. It is not normal and okay to act this way. You are not a good person. But I have not even shown you the worst of it. Again, fair warning. Rewind that back. I want to see his
what
face.
Did he do?
So why does he look so surprised that Amelia was recording him? Oh, I wonder why. Haha. Maybe it's because he wasn't expecting it. This is the way he acts when he's not being recorded with his sister, because he was pushed back and he immediately was jolly after acting kind of strange, kind of weird, kind of stupid and repulsive after acting the way he was. And then
that's
after
not
being
okay.
pushed away, good job Amelia, push him away every time, he changes his composure immediately.
Oh, haha. Yeah, it was just a joke, guys. It was just a joke, guys. I swear.
And I can't find who originally posted this video. It might have been Amelia. It might have been a call for help, because it wasn't Thomas. He did not post this. There is no way he posted this. Maybe it was on a live stream. I don't know. He was obviously unaware of Amelia's recording of him. But I've seen the communities react to these videos a lot. Everybody's kind of just distraught with what's going on. A lot of people are talking about the good old days when he wasn't really close to her at all times. And I hear a bunch of people out there going, well, I hug my siblings a lot. That's different. You don't grab their waists. That's creepy. Thomas also started a little trend when it came to his little sister, where he called her Zhao Zhao, which means small, and he kept calling her that. And now, after seeing all these weird little tidbits of him, it creeps me out. He's really close to her all the time. He grabbed her goddamn hips, and I'm assuming he was going to pull her closer, and that is disgusting and disturbing, and I do not appreciate it. I felt obligated to make this video, because I have not seen anything happen. No flack towards him for what he has done. You know, that meme, that joke about all the YouTubers, when a YouTuber reaches 1 million subs, they decide, are they gonna go the route of being really cool, or are they gonna touch kids? We know what route Thomas picked. I love finding losers online who think they're invulnerable. Because one day this video is going to come back to haunt him. and it's gonna ruin his entire career. I really, really hope it does. Because you can't just do this. There is
You
no
can't do that.
goddamn way I'm letting this slide. You are a piece of human trash, and I will not stand idly by as you do this to your younger sister. Who knows what's happening off camera? Because again, in that last video, he only realized that he was being recorded. Obviously, taken aback and changing composure suddenly when seeing a camera means you did not realize you were being recorded. I hate it. But I found it, and I got him. Oh, I got him. I hope this video gets real publicity, but I hope a lot of people see this one, because it's gonna be a good one. It's gonna be a good one. Anyway, in conclusion, what's the conclusion? Don't do this! God damn it, people, don't do this! Why do so many famous people do this? Well, it's obviously because of, online how prevalent adult content is, making it normalized to see things and do things this way. It is not normal. It is not okay to be this way. Thomas, I don't care how famous you are or how invulnerable you think you are. I hope you are angered and dismayed by this video's existence. Anyway, this video is brought to you by this member. You are nothing like Thomas. You are amazing. You are great. And I really, really appreciate your support. I couldn't do it without you. I really, really can. I say it every time and I mean it. I cannot do it without my members. If you want to be featured in a video, become a member. Oh yeah. Don't forget to subscribe as well. If you made it to this far in the video, wow, you got a good attention span. For real. Wow. Kudos. See, okay, I find it hard to make a video about this subject. I find it really hard because there is just so much. There's so much wrong with this, and it's so dark and twisted, and it's really not okay. There is nothing okay about what he is doing, right? And I don't want people to feel extremely uncomfortable, but that's the up they have, right? If you feel uncomfortable by it, then they're allowed to operate in what they're doing, and then people can't stop them because they're too uncomfortable to even look into it. But we must push forward to get the creeps out of here. They'll never be completely gone, obviously, and there's nothing we can do about that, but we can fight back, and that's my goal. I wanted to fight back against this stupid ass. I hate him. Oh my god. So annoying. So stupid. Why are you doing this? Okay? Yeah, that's it. Thank you. Thank you for watching. I hope you have a good morning, evening, or afternoon, wherever you are. Later.
On to the next video.
Alrighty, well, hello, sinners. How are ya?
I'll go as long as you do, man. I'm not backing down.
We could stay here all night.
I'm ready to do this.
What the fuck?
My arm's a little sore now. On today's installment of the Letterboard of Truth, our quote of the day is...
Sometimes the right side is actually on your left.
So true, bestie. So, if y'all didn't notice, I happen to have a friend joining me on the channel today. So say hello to Callie, aka Funky Frogbait. Woo, 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 woo! The crowd goes wild.
Thank you everyone. I'm assuming thunderous virtual applause is playing right now.
So for the sinners at home who might not be familiar with your content, why don't you tell them a little bit about yourself?
I make really goofy videos about internet drama that you do not have the time or patience to dig into, and I give it to you in a delicious, delectable, under 20 minutes, concentrated form that you can just watch and then forget about. Funky Frogbait on all platforms. I also do really dorky skits on TikTok as well. Funky Frogbait is surprisingly not a super popular requested name, so if I'm on a platform, I'm gonna be Funky Frogbait.
I'm surprised because, like, you know the whole frog craze from 2020?
Oh yeah, it was like almost as bad as the mustache craze.
Oh god, you're bringing back flashbacks. There are people who got like tattoos of the mustache.
Oh yeah. Those people still exist, by the way, and we love you.
They're happier than I'll ever be.
Honestly, the mushroom tatted people are gonna be the same way. I have mushrooms permanently on my body. We're no better than the mustache people.
History repeats
No
itself.
better.
Unfortunately.
But historically, since we're on the topic of history, dating as a conservative is hard. And as a Republican person yourself, do you face too much wokeism on your dating apps?
I'm seeing all of these, you know, blue-haired, piercing-having, unshaven women. You know, I like my women incredibly feminine and to look like they're 18, even if they're in their 40s. And frankly, it upsets me so much that that's not what I'm seeing on Tinder and the countless other dating apps that I'm desperately scrolling through. I got 2 phones.
One for Tinder, one for Bumble.
Yeah, exactly. And all I'm seeing is these blue-haired freaks.
But thankfully, we have a wonderful conservative dating app called The Right Stuff. Finally, we can take the wokeism and the snowflake-isms out of dating.
Couldn't have come sooner.
Snowflakes, they can't handle it.
The sun's
Get
coming
out
out
of
to
here. What
melt
are you
them.
doing?
Put that on a shirt. So just to refresh everyone's memory, we're gonna watch the trailer for this dating app that they released last year. And I think it's gonna be really cool and really highlight how important American values are.
Patriotic nodding.
Should we do the Pledge of Allegiance before we start? Remix
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it still stands, one nation, under God, specifically the Christian God. Liberty, justice for all.
Real hot girl shit. We the best.
Flag.
Real
hot girl shit.
Without any further ado, I mean, I can't think of a better intro than that. Let's see what The Right Stuff is all about.
Hey guys, I'm Ryan. I've got to tell you about something I am so excited to announce.
A very feminine woman with long blonde hair. She knows how to present correctly as a godly woman should.
Absolutely.
A dating app for all of us conservatives.
Yes.
It's called The Right Stuff, and it's launching this September.
Man and a woman, just how it's supposed to be.
What I love most about it is that it's invite only, so not just anyone can join.
The high focus on exclusivity, as if it's not a negative stereotype of your entire side of the political spectrum.
Like, they think they're giving Raya, but they're actually giving Christian Mingle.
And honestly, the overlap between those two apps is probably pretty big, so I'm not super surprised.
First of all, it's free to use. And for my ladies, you'll never have to pay because we all get premium subscriptions for simply inviting a couple friends. Gentlemen, if you want access to premium, that's on you. And by the way, those are the only 2 options. Ladies and gentlemen, The Right Stuff is all about getting into the right dating pool with people who share the same values and beliefs as you.
And I'm sure there are plenty of desperate men, and only men, who are more than willing to pay $14.99 a month or whatever the cost is.
I'm sure that app is absolutely raining chicks.
Mm-hmm.
There's definitely not a massive
sausage fest.
No, absolutely not. Absolutely not a massive gap between the gender percentages or anything like that.
So a bunch of godly men can match with other godly men.
And they can talk about how much they love women together.
And guns, beer, Trump, the Bible.
Talk about godly fellowship.
Is that what they call gay sex nowadays?
Yeah.
What's the lesbian equivalent?
I'll pray for you.
I'll pray for you. What about the, like, non-binary equivalent? Not that you guys exist.
I don't exist. I'm actually a figment that has been generated specifically for this video.
Why would you
I
think?
exist for entertainment purposes only. The moment the camera cuts off, no longer corporeal.
I'm just talking to a pair of floating cat headphones.
Yeah, I'm like John Cena.
What a reference. That was like the joke in 4th grade.
And you know what? It was funny every single time and never got old.
Even to this day.
Start off by building your perfect profile. No pronouns necessary. Yes. We want you to put your best foot forward, which includes your favorite photos of yourself doing what you love.
Not the Trump meet and greet photo.
But that's competition, man. I don't want to see a gorgeous woman next to the most sexually desirable man in the world. I know I have no chance at that point. The standard has been set too high. I am not even gonna swipe right. I'm gonna be too intimidated at that point.
Yeah, it's like, who do I want to kiss more?
Exactly. I can't compete with those voluptuous curves.
Trump or the woman? Our bisexual viewers are going insane right now.
We're sorry that you've had to endure years of bad dates and wasted time with people that don't see the world our way, the right way. Okay, once you're in the app, you have the ability to scroll through profiles of people in your area.
There he is!
That is our man.
Our short king at 5'9".
Sneaky little, hey, ladies, by the way.
I'm a God-fearing Republican in your area.
I love a humble king, though.
Hey.
He says he's 5'9". He doesn't claim the 6 foot. I appreciate an honest king.
Right.
In the app, you can see everyone who's liked your profile. And if you like them back, you can start chatting with them. It's that simple.
Yes.
So if you're a young conservative looking to amp up your dating life,
I'm a young
go
conservative.
to joinrightstuff.com to gain early access. We need to get back to the right way of dating. See you there.
How do you feel? Do you feel empowered as a young Republican person?
I definitely feel empowered. I also love how it's like super obvious in that ad that she's reading off a cue card.
Join the right stuff. Make the right decision. No more pronouns.
It's like an intern like flipping cards as fast as possible.
Hi. I have a challenge for you. Google your first and last name right now. I triple dog dare you. You might be surprised at how much of your personal information, like your legal name, personal email, address, phone number, and even your relatives' information, is out there for anyone to see. In fact, I Googled a few of my family members' full names, and sure enough, what should be their private information was out there for anyone to access. This is all available because data brokers profit off of selling your information to anyone who wants to learn more about you, whether that be robocallers, spammers, or telemarketers. But there is a solution for this. And that would be Aura. Aura is a service designed to identify data brokers exposing your information and automatically submit opt-out requests on your behalf. Since I started partnering with Aura, they have successfully removed my personal information from 24 data broker websites. In addition, Aura keeps track of how I count threats for you and your loved ones at a very just like every other app, they've taken to TikTok to promote to young Gen Z Republicans of the United States.
Yeah, because all of those 14-year-olds on TikTok are desperate for a dating app to use.
You would think that they would take advantage of the platform that they have to advertise how good their app is, but it's like they almost know how much of a failure it's been. So instead, they have the CEO on liberals through corny skits the entire time.
Dunking on those liberal teenagers. That's what we need more of today.
Yeah, let's make their teenage years even worse.
They've had it too good for a full 10 years of life. Let's immediately fix that.
So you're probably wondering, who is this gorgeous young bachelor gracing the Date Right Stuff's TikTok page?
An eligible husband, if I ever saw one.
God-fearing, Trump-loving, gun-carrying American.
Just like my daddy would want me to have.
Oh yeah. His name is John McEntee, and he was actually the political aide for Donald Trump during his 2016 presidential run. How cool is that?
That's awesome. How'd that go?
Really well until March 2018, when he got fired for gambling issues and not having the proper security clearance.
Yanking on that slot machine a few too many times.
His gamble back in 2018 was bad, but this gamble into his new TikTok career is going We should start with the video that initially put him on the map.
All right. I refuse to believe this man was not a
Why are
theater
you
kid.
doing
that
this?
Choreography was too on point.
You could take the kid
What
out
the
of the theater, but you
fuck?
can't take the theater out of the kid.
It latches inside of them like a
Sounds
parasite.
awful.
I saw a
Sounds
comment
awful.
when I was going through his TikTok page that he looks like he'd be on Glee, and that is so fucking true.
Oh, you're so right.
I think he would be so good on Broadway or like a TV show, but instead he's doing this.
Get him on stage immediately.
Like his little... That made me feel something.
I nearly shed a tear.
A lot of conservative talking heads on social media, most of them have failed acting or media careers, so I really wouldn't be surprised if he like tried out for Broadway or went to Hollywood to chase his dreams.
They go straight for the grift when Hollywood dumps them. It's a prevalent trend, for sure.
The caption for this next one is "Society needs strong men." That's so fucking true.
Absolutely.
You know, they actually say 40% of cops are manly men. If you look up that statistic statistic. 40%
Yeah, actually,
of
can
cops.
guys just look up 40% of cops.
Yeah, it's the first link. Let's see why society needs strong, manly men.
Right stuff parenting tip. Teach your boys to become men before their teachers teach them to become women.
Look at this first of all, this strategy I have never seen before. When eating sprinkles with your fucking froyo, your frozen yogurt, you spoon of yogurt, cup of sprinkles, you dip the yogurt in the sprinkles like a dipping sauce but for yogurt, and then you eat it. My man has no idea what the outside of a theater looks like. He has no idea what things look like off stage. You know what I mean? When those curtains close, he doesn't leave. He stays. He sleeps on stage. This is what happens. This is what happens. When the theater kid is never removed from the theater. They tell you that when you have froyo, you dip the froyo in the sprinkles. Just dump the sprinkles on the froyo. If your concern is not having the appropriate amount of sprinkles on your frozen yogurt, you have a lot more problems in life than that, buddy. So, you know. And I mean, I'm just saying, a little fruity. Alright? And it's okay for me to say that, okay? It's a good thing. But when he says shit like, trans women aren't women, that's when I'm like, Alright, buddy. You're gonna have to, you know, tone it down a little bit. Alright? We're gonna have to figure something out. You know, because this is ridiculous. The fuck is this? Bro, I'm not doing that. Oh well, that's too bad. Okay, this one looks way better. Oh, sorry. Back to the video.
You know how in
I was
like
looking at
movies and
Spider-Man
stuff, they'll
mods.
show like the villain doing something weird, you know, drinking milk and then eating cereal, or just having a warm glass of milk randomly.
The villain doing something truly
That's how
demonic.
I feel about the way he just ate that ice cream.
He's like an alien trying to assimilate to society.
This is how humans eat ice cream.
Ice cream / Froyo, whatever he's eating, that's like a common theme. So you'll see more of him eating ice cream in a very interesting way.
He eats froyo, and he's gonna hold other men to an extremely high standard for manliness. Okay.
When Froyo is like the most like baby girl
It's
of
just
all the
the
desserts.
way he
Let's just say
eats
it now.
it,
This man
too.
is so baby girl.
He is. He's girly pop.
Just hop over the fence, brother. You will be embraced.
But what do you think of that? Like, they're teaching young boys how to become women. What are your thoughts on that?
It's so interesting because the narrative can go both ways. It can be either like schools are teaching men.
I'm sorry, what? I'm sorry, what did you say? You don't get the nose ring thing? What nose ring thing? You don't get why people wear nose rings? Or why this creator wears a nose ring? You mind elaborating on that? What thing? What are you talking about? Hold on. The thing, yeah. Their nose ring? They have a nose ring. What do you not What do you not understand? People wear nose rings. A lot of people wear nose rings. What's wrong with that? And where's your evidence for that? Broke people wear nose rings? Where's your evidence? Or you're just saying that because that's the cool thing to say. Ask anyone. Who am I asking? The people with the nose rings? What do you mean? Ask anybody with a nose ring, okay? I don't know. I'm pretty sure you could find a rich person with a nose ring. I assure you there's a celebrity out there that wears a nose ring. What are you talking about? What are you saying right now? Oh, a broken person. Well, that's even more fucked that you said that. What the fuck? A broken... I thought you said broke. Sorry, I'm dyslexic. You said broken. That doesn't make any sense either. They're broken? People... Daddy... Yeah, I'm sure that's the problem. Wow, that's crazy that you just said that. Sorry about that. Oof. Holy shit. Fucking Bizont. Oh shit. That's insane. That is insane. Judging people off of like... What the fuck was that? Judging people off of like being sexually assaulted? Like what? That's a crazy assumption to make off of a nose ring. A fucking nose piercing. I can't believe that happened. I cannot believe that happened. I have never gotten a viewer that has done that shit. I am so sorry. That's insane. That's insane to judge somebody for having a nose ring and then saying it's because of domestic violence. Domestic violence causes nose rings. That's insane. Like as if that's a mental health thing. You get a nose ring whenever you're depressed. Yeah. What the fuck? No, I don't have enough viewers to have assholes like that in my chat. I'm sorry. If you're gonna talk that way about a creator that I enjoy, specifically like even a non-binary creator, calling them broken, that's insane. That's insane. Like, what the fuck? Daddy issues and broken. Bitch, you're self-reporting with that shit. Fucking broken, but what the fuck? Bizant said, is that a cry for... I don't get the nose ring thing. Is that a cry for attention? I think Bizant was asking for a cry for attention from like 2 or 3 people on stream. What the hell? People wear nose rings, Bizant. People wear nose rings. You don't have to be a domestic violence victim or, you know, have mental, have like, you don't have to be depressed. You know, you don't have to have a mental illness to have a nose ring. That's insane. Bro. Broken people. That is some pointed judgment right there. Broken people? What the fuck is a broken person? What are you breaking? I don't think breaking your leg is the same thing as having depression. There's nothing broken in your brain. Nothing is broken. Broken implies that something cracks or like legitimately like you cannot use it for the function. You don't lose function in your brain because of depression. You fucking gain new functions. They're not good. They're not positive functions, but like if a calculator fucking gets crushed by a car, well, you're not using the calculator anymore. You're still using your brain if you're depressed. So, don't know what's broken from this content creator by having the fucking nose ring. That's insane. That is insane. Touched by an uncle. That's fucking insane. Yeah. Yeah, if you have a nose ring out there, Bizant here says it's because you're a sexual assault victim. If that's the case, Bizant, why the fuck do I not have a nose ring? Where's my nose ring? You know? Like, what the fuck? Insanity. You come onto my stream, first of all, you come onto my stream and say that shit. Look at what you're looking at right now. There's, literally look at what you're looking at. And you come onto my stream and say that shit? Reactionary. Fucking grifter decided to come onto my stream today. Insane. I don't deal with that shit. Nah. You're saying shit like that? You can say people are quote-unquote broken all you want. You can say, oh, cry for attention. But then you bring up actual, like, horrific acts of sexual assault that's taking it a step too far. And we don't do that here. Alright? Has nothing to do with any of the politics being talked about today. Has nothing to do with, like, it has no relation to what I talk about for the most part, which is politics in relation to, like, you know, I'm an artist, okay? The only thing I have the true capacity to talk about at length is art. If I do talk about politics, it's from the very limited knowledge of what I understand about politics. No. If I'm going to talk about sexual assault, it's going to be from my perspective. It's not going to be from some douchebag idiot on the internet that decided that this content creator has been sexually assaulted. Insanity. Absolutely. The jump is insane. I've never gotten that before. That's crazy.
And that they're not allowed to be manly and confusing.
My apologies to Frogbit. My apologies, Frogbit, for such horrifying idiocy. Such disgusting behavior from some random person on the internet. Go get a life. Go get a life, Bizant. Fucking stupid.
Masculine traits with toxic masculinity, or it can be this guy's like convinced that schools are just shooting kids with the trans ray and they're gonna come home in like a mini skirt and be like, Mom, I'm sorry, I wanted to be a boy, but Mrs. Brown shot me with a trans ray. I have no other choice.
I got transed in English class today, Mom.
Right at the 3rd chapter of To Kill a Mockingbird.
Okay, so this next one is just called A Man Can Dream.
Dreaming about holding beefy, beautiful men.
In a perfect world, there'd be a female mannequin up here too, and as a society, we would not stigmatize the female pantsuit. There also wouldn't be a men's and women's shoe section.
Did fucking Bizant see me talking about the right stuff? Bro, Bizant probably has a fucking membership on the right stuff. Holy shit, dude. Because that was pointed. That was a pointed interjection in the middle of this video. I don't even know how to move on from that. It was so fucking pointed. Anyways.
We would have an equal number of men representing these makeup brands. In a perfect world, designer clothes would be half off for those in a lower income bracket and free for drug addicts. These would be more wearable for men. There'd be an enlarged crotch section.
It's based.
I do think it's so
You can't even hold it
interesting that
together.
There seems to be such a confusion over fairness and equality versus sameness.
Mm-hmm.
And I think a lot of conservatives feel so threatened because they perceive equality as sameness and a demand for sameness. And of course, perfect sameness would be irrational and crazy, but no one is advocating for that. Also, he said fully off for drug addicts. If I get zooted on edibles multiple times a week, does that count?
I think you're entitled to 1 free Gucci purse a month.
See,
Nice.
this is based because I benefit from it.
I also like at the beginning how he mentioned like having a female model for pantsuits. As a lesbian who has to deal with ill-fitting suits all the time, I think that would just be like a really great step in the right direction for us masked lesbians.
I love how that was like presented as like such a crazy thing, but pantsuits have been popularized since the 80s. Why would you be upset by this?
Like no one thinks about this in real life. On to the next one.
Oh my gosh, I almost forgot. Birthing Parents' Day is coming up. What should we get they, them?
That's such a really original and funny joke. I've never heard that before, have you?
No, me neither. There definitely isn't a very popular commentator that makes that exact joke every single year.
Twice a year.
I know so many non-binary people that just still go by mom and dad. And if not, their kid just comes up with like a fun name. Like we give grandparents fun names like Gigi and Mimi.
Meemaw, Peepaw, Seesaw.
No one gets upset about Gigi, Meemaw.
Also, on the Bizant thing. I didn't even notice that both of these creators, both of them have nose rings, so I don't even know which one they were talking about. They both got nose rings. Like, bitch, my ex had a nose ring. It's fucking hot. What are you talking about? Nose rings are hot. It's an accessory, okay? Insanity.
Patty cake, whatever the grandkids call it, but all of a sudden the parent wants to be called something that's not gendered and it's weird. I've infiltrated the left and I have found that they do not in fact talk like this. They still just say Happy Mother's Day.
Crazy.
It's hard to believe, but it's true.
That invalidates all of their points.
I know, how dare they?
They're like the same people who talk about, and this is something we joked about, like keep it in the privacy of your own home. Meanwhile, a kid calls their parent something other than mom and dad in the privacy of their own home, and that's an issue.
Yeah, it's only privacy one direction.
But they can know like what trans kids and trans people in general are doing.
Absolutely. Monitored cameras in every room. If you're a trans person, you're actually assigned a local conservative dad to monitor cameras in your home at all times.
Even in some houses, they have a conservative guy standing at the foot of your dining room table. So if a kid's like, Mom, can you pass the peas? He's like, what? What the f did you say? It's crazy. We're living in 1984.
They're coming for your kids. I'm just thinking about how I would feel if I saw a grown man doing this in public. When you become someone who makes content for a living, you suddenly have like an understanding of the ridiculousness that brings about said content. He had a buddy of his hold a phone. Press record multiple times. Like he probably like did a take and like tripped and he's like, oh man, no, do it again, do it again, do it again.
Oh, I have to do my jig again.
You can't make fun of people for masculinity
You gotta do the
and
jig.
not masculinity and like talk about manly men and then do a jig in a parking lot 5 or 6 times while your friend records you. It doesn't work that way.
Like imagine you just came back from a really like tiring doctor's appointment. You go to the pharmacy, they don't have your medication. You have to wait for 20 minutes and then you just see this goofy dude just like,
okay man, I just need to get home. My kids are hungry. They haven't eaten today. Please step aside, sir.
I'm having so much fun watching these. I don't know about you.
Yeah.
Here's the next one.
See, this is accidentally super based. A true leftist snowflake would know that it's actually massive corporations that are destroying our planet and not the individual wasteful actions of the citizens.
Right.
So accidentally, super based of him to make fun of an obsession with not using your car as if that's gonna help gallons of oil being dumped into the oceans.
Or all the gas just being pumped into the ozone layer, destroying.
Just the sky, just destroying the sky. We don't need that. What does the sky do anyway?
Or like the crazy
does it
wildfires.
I mean, those just happen sometimes. Yeah, the earth gets a little toasty sometimes. It's okay.
Get a couple weenies, get a couple marshmallows, and have a little bonfire.
Yeah, resourcefulness. That's what this generation doesn't have. Resourcefulness.
Pick yourself up by your bootstraps. I don't care if your house was burned down. I don't care if you lost your dog in the fire.
Back in my day, you pull out the s'mores when the earth sets on fire, okay?
I know we have a lot of older people that follow us as well, and if you're confused, when someone says, I identify as, what they're saying is, I'm pretending to be. So a man, I identify as a woman, he's pretending to be a woman. And there are certain things you can't identify as, though, so be careful, like an Indian, things like that.
Yeah, interesting.
Wait, what?
Interesting that you can
Identify
identify
as
as those
Indian?
things.
That's interesting wording.
What was he like referring to?
I guess he's saying that like language has changed so much that old people wouldn't be able to understand the process of identifying. So he can just tell them it's a game of pretend. That's how ridiculous it is to identify as anything other than what you're assigned at birth.
Yeah, as if trans people haven't been around since the beginning of time.
As if there haven't been multiple cultures.
Since
For
the
instance, the
beginning
concept being
of
two-spirited,
time.
Traditions that are literally thousands of years old or anything. No, it's just invented by blue-haired 14-year-olds 5 years ago.
Or the fact that the Torah recognizes 6 sexes.
That was added recently. It's like a
That
Wikipedia
was-
article. People got in there and
That
just
was
started
an
adding stuff.
addendum.
That was a footnote
amendment.
added in 2019 in the Torah.
Yeah, no, they just snuck that one in there when we weren't looking.
Like how they added homosexuality to the Bible in the 40s to switch
They
out
did.
the
They
meaning
actually
from
did do
pedophilia
that.
to blaming the gays.
But that was just, we were bringing out the truth of the
But that was funny. But that was funny.
Right.
But that
Because
was
it doesn't
funny.
really matter.
I don't
if,
think
like,
you
we're
understand
preying
that
on
that was
children.
that was
Just two
funny.
men
That was a
holding
funny
hands.
thing
That's
to
what we
do.
gotta make sure people know is bad.
I can excuse pedophilia, but I draw the line at homosexuality.
Exactly, exactly.
Liberal on a dinner date.
You know, they don't split checks here, so I'll throw it on my card and you can Venmo me later. We'll split it right down the center. I won't knock you for that extra spring roll you had either.
I've never understood that splitting the check being a bad thing. I've never understood that.
Like, I've heard the notion, like, if you ask the other person out, you should be paying.
See, that's just polite, though.
But I feel like for a first date, you don't know this person.
Nobody should be in the hole for taking a risk for love.
I remember I also did that on my first date with my partner. We split the check.
See, lesbians don't have this issue, guys.
See, that's
The lesson
beautiful.
is
That's
be a
beautiful.
lesbian. Keep it simple. Keep it lesbian.
Keep it lesbian.
The
That's
lesson
beautiful.
is-
The logic is that men pay, right? So when two men go on a date, what happens?
They have to arm wrestle.
They have to fight to the death.
It's the only way
They
it
have
can
to
be done.
kill each
And then
other.
two women, it's just like, huh? Like, no you, no you.
No,
No,
you.
please,
Both their
no,
purses
please,
are empty because they
please,
women
no,
and don't have
please.
job. No, you.
No, please. No,
I
you.
insist.
Then we just wind up dining and dashing. I don't know. I've always been the type to just like split the check.
Yeah, it's the least messy way to do things. Actually, I'm gonna push back on that. I say individual checks because splitting the checks makes like a weird pressure of like, oh, I can't like get something much more expensive than them or else they're gonna be paying. So then if you just like do 2 checks, then I can have my lobster bisque and you can have your crouton and nobody has to feel guilty.
Your one
It's just
crouton.
all good.
At some restaurants, they actually have like the little iPad where you
They actually
can just
have
like
one
select your
crouton on a
items.
plate. It's
This is
actually
what
crazy.
technology
It
should
costs
be
like
doing, not putting
$20.
artists out of a job. Should be splitting checks evenly so nobody gets into a heated domestic fight in the car on the way home.
When they say capitalism is innovation, this is what they're referring to. All right, so liberal dad at prom.
Oh boy.
Over here, guys.
Hey, okay, we
Looking
got
good,
one.
I wish you would have gone with the dress, though.
A dad who loves and cares for his son no matter what he wears. Ugh.
It's so interesting because it
Yuck.
seems to be this
Ew,
idea
ew,
that
ew,
like
ew, ew,
parents
ew.
that are open to their children expressing themselves in unique ways are like they need it to happen. It's not an openness, it's a demand. And I think it's because, from their perspective, conservative parents have a lot of specific demands for their children to abide by when it comes to presentation and how they talk and how they act and how godly they are. So they assume that the opposite of that would be the same strictness, but just in the other direction.
Right.
But it's actually just openness and communication and love instead. So it seems hard for them to wrap their minds around, I'm just cool with what my kid does. I'm not forcing them to be anything at all, either feminine or masculine. I guess they assume because they want such demanding things of their kids that liberal parents have to be the same way, and it's so odd to me.
Yeah, I mean, you rarely hear stories of like, oh, I grew up in a very liberal, progressive household and I had to break out and undo the ideology that I was taught growing up. It's always the opposite.
That's gotta just be correlation though, not causation.
Right.
Let's not draw any hasty conclusions here.
No,
Let's
not
not
at
get
all.
crazy. Let's not get
I
crazy.
genuinely don't see how this is like supposed to be an insult.
I feel like he's grabbing at straws. He's running out of ideas. He's got to get creative with it.
Yeah, he can only do so many skits in the yogurt shop.
They kicked him out, actually. He's not allowed to enter any yogurt shop in the frozen yogurt place in the country. He got banned from all of them.
They have his picture on the wall that says, "Do not let him in."
Yeah, exactly.
This
They
man
bar
is
the
a
doors
fucking
when they see
psychopath.
him.
Do not let
Alright,
him
we have
in.
3 left to power through.
Okay.
Here we go.
Dad, I'm not getting any playing time. Can I switch sports? Absolutely not. We are not quitters. But you can switch genders.
There's so many things that are interesting about that logic. First off, I love random metaphors where it's just like two things that have nothing to do with each other but sound really cool when you say it out loud and is therefore a logical argument. Love that. The pencil and the pencil sharpener can be used for men and women, but no, we don't use that. We actually use locks and keys, and that's the only valid one.
Right.
I just love these very specific metaphors that always seem to work in one direction and that for some reason are a valid argument because I said this thing is like this thing, so
Yeah,
therefore this
this
thing
is
must
what
be
this
like this
is.
thing because I said it is.
That's what they call false equivalency.
Breaking out those academic terms.
And again, with the
Somebody was
yogurt
an
shop.
I wonder if he
major.
filmed all of them back to back though. Maybe he's efficient with it. Runs in the bathroom, switches shirts, puts on some powder, and then runs out and pretends it's like a different day. But he just recorded these all back to back to back to back.
And he has different yogurt flavors in every video, so he just orders like 10 different cups of it.
I'm on a schedule, people. It's like screaming at the teenager behind the counter.
I said chocolate sprinkles! Alright, this next one.
Oh, I'm reading the title and okay.
It's not so discreet racism.
Usually they're really good at no, actually they're not. They're not really good at hiding it.
No.
They try though. They try.
Am I wrong? Probably.
Probably at this point, buddy.
What do you mean I was denied the contract? I wasn't lying. I identify as a black-owned business. I thought that's how it works.
Ethnicity is genetic, gender is not.
This refusal to
one
accept
looks sick too,
even
by the way.
engaging with the idea that gender and sex are different. No matter how many times it's been explained,
one's alright,
either
but I
in very
count
simple
this
terms or
one
very
better.
complex sociological academic terms, it doesn't matter. It's just gender and sex are the same, therefore race. Once again, false equivalency, you're just saying one thing is like something else, and I have to just suspend disbelief and follow you with that assumption, and if I do, of course you sound
Spider
like you
Cop
know
looks
what you're
sick.
talking about, because you presented us with the premise of two things are the same and they're not.
It comes from the same sort of origin as people who say that transhood is like woman face, or like trans women, quote
even know
unquote,
I had
pretending
that
to be
one.
women is the same as blackface. Have you seen that argument?
I've
I like this
heard
one.
similar things where like a trans woman is basically making a mockery of femininity
Yo,
rather
I didn't know
than
I had this
loving
one
it and
either.
embracing it and seeking to identify with it, which is what trans women actually do. False equivalency is the best way you can sum it up. It's just like you're taking two things and saying they're the same and they're not. Sociology is actually complex and you can't just say A equals B. It's crazy.
Yeah, they tend to have like such black and white thinking.
No room for gray, ever.
No, and this is a problem with the internet in
Oh.
general, that there's like no nuance whatsoever.
The safety of anonymity
no, the
allows
users that
you
one.
to take really harsh hateful stances with very little repercussions, so you don't feel inclined to be understanding or seek to understand or look at the context of a situation before making a really harsh judgment.
Again, like you said, it's been explained time and time again 50 different ways, and until they grasp that basic concept, it's gonna be hard for them to learn to accept trans people.
I was raised that way. It took me a long time. It's not an easy thing if you've been programmed from a very young age to believe it, but like the moment you kind of can separate the two things in your head, it's like an eye-opening moment of like, oh, whoa, the world is so much bigger and brighter and cooler than I thought it was. I thought it was like this simple divide and everything was in all these simple boxes, but no, it's actually a big spaghetti noodle fest of all these beautiful, bizarre, different people all coming together, and that's what makes society. It's not this blanket box A is bad, box B is good type thing. It's so much more beautiful and complicated and crazy.
The new animation.
I wish I could share that with people, but it takes a lot of internal work to get to that point.
They have to wanna try to see it from your perspective to even like consider it.
Right.
Most of the time they're gonna hear what they want to hear and make false equivalencies, like being trans is the same as blackface, when blackface has a very distinct racist history.
Right, exactly.
I would say out of all of them, this one pissed me off the most.
It's lazy, frankly. Like, the conclusion
Without
is just
the
really
cave. The cave
lazy.
was
I
the
think that's
shit.
what makes this one really frustrating, is it's just super lazy, and it doesn't try to make any actual arguments. It just kind of drops this ridiculous statement on you and is like, haha, gotcha.
It's not a gotcha.
It's not a gotcha. It's not.
But we're gonna end on a lighter note.
Great, good.
And I feel like this is a topic that both liberals and conservatives can agree on. I mean, I think everyone hates paper straws.
Yeah, no, it's the same thing with all of our cartoons telling us to save water and put things in recycling and use paper straws and
turn the water off when you brush your teeth.
It's putting the guilt of our dying planet on, 8-year-olds watching cartoons who've literally made zero imprint on the planet so that you can distract from the massive damage being done by incredibly greedy corporations that are just openly destroying things on a massive scale. So honestly, I think liberals and conservatives could honestly join together on this issue, because it's annoying to have that pressure put on you when you know that your personal impact is so small. Like, it's stupid to be like, oh, if you use that straw, you're the one killing all the fish and the turtles in the ocean. It's like, no. My tiny little impact is so small compared to the actual damage being done on a wide scale.
Right, like to say that someone using a plastic straw or like a plastic cup is the same as a rich person flying in a private jet for 40 minutes to get from point A to point B is the same thing on any level is preposterous.
Yeah, it's just not comparable. It's even beyond like individual millionaires. It's like multi-million-dollar industries that use like slave labor, and they use like toxic materials, and they dump toxic materials at like a level just so big that it's like incomparable to that little straw that you use to drink your Sprite for lunch. Like, it's just, you can't even compare the two.
It's just unfortunate that something like the environment, which is something we should all care about because we all live on this planet, has become so politicized as opposed to us joining together as a human race being like, what are we gonna do? We want to preserve life going forward, and we want to make sure our kids and our kids' kids live in a healthy, sustainable world. How are we gonna do that? But instead it's just like, let's make fun of 16-year-old Greta Thunberg on Twitter because LOL woke.
Well, yeah, it's a dunk. It's all about the dunk. You gotta get the dunk on those blue-haired 16-year-olds. That's all that matters.
Yeah.
I mean, let's be honest, like, most of these people, they're like in their 50s, 60s, 70s, 80s. They're not gonna be around. They don't care. They're about to die. They literally will be unaffected by most of the voting decisions that they make. Why should they care? Why should they join hands across the aisle if it's not gonna affect them either way?
Because if it doesn't affect them, it's going to affect their family and generations that have come after them.
Yeah, it's just a lack of empathy at the end of the day. I definitely think it's ridiculous that this could not be a cross-party issue. Like, there's a lot of things that I think are just like, you can't really mesh between the two parties, but I feel like environmentalism could so easily be like
bipartisan.
Totally bipartisan issue, but people spreading very clever propaganda to make it sound like a politicized thing when it doesn't need to be.
You could say the same thing about healthcare. Everyone in this country would benefit from free healthcare, accessible healthcare. Like, isn't it worth investing in the health and safety of your citizens?
You don't even gotta go full socialist with it. Maybe just at least start with being like, how do we make it better? Can we at least start with that? Like, can we all just acknowledge, first off, that
Anyways, I gotta go. I have to piss. So I'll be right back. Enjoy the music while I'm gone. BRB. I'm back. Okay. Alright. Okay. I have to go to sleep in a minute. Okay. Okay. Alright. Checking on a few important things. Yep. Okay. Alright. Let's keep watching. Finish this video up.
It's bad, and then like what can we possibly do to make it at least slightly better? But yeah, no, everything is very politicized and like scorching hot to touch.
Yeah.
So it makes it kind of impossible to talk about.
Yeah, and Republicans like him have to be contrarian because everything is woke these days and they don't want to give in to the mob. But like they're also impacting the US population negatively because by not caring about the environment or people's health, in 50 years down the line, where are we going to be? Probably in a lot shittier mess than we are now.
That's so right, like what you're saying, because it's like, in his mind, I imagine in his mind, he's like, if I budge on the straws, they're gonna shoot my kids with the trans ray. Like, there's this idea that all of these separate ideas and issues are all completely meshed together, and if you even slightly budge towards being more empathetic or environmentally conscious, it's a slippery slope, and all of a sudden people are gonna be invading your home and forcing you to say, "Slay Queen" before dinner every night, and it's just like this terror and this fear of the unknown that I think can be really helped by educating people, but at the end of the day, it needs to be, you need to have a receptive, open mind to even begin to understand these things and be more accepting.
Highly self-centered people at the end of the day.
There's just a tunnel vision, I think, is the big issue. It's just gotta make sure they lose and I win kind of mentality, and just not seeing anything beyond that.
They see it as a game to win. Like, oh, we crushed the liberals today.
And there's no thought beyond that about like the larger issue and the impact that it causes.
They can say that they want to care and protect for the children all the livelong day until they turn blue in the face, but you know, their decisions and their opinions are affecting their children as well and putting them in harm's way.
Yeah, I mean, it's just like the countless stories of children coming from conservative homes with a lot of trauma because of either like corporeal punishment, traditional like parenting methods that are really like harmful to your child's development, or accepting their kids because they're queer or they're trans or whatever it is. I think is evidence enough that there's a problem with empathy, and it's really upsetting to see. I mean, maybe when the world is literally on fire, maybe then it will be a bipartisan issue. Maybe when literally all of us are dying and there's no doctors to cure us or medicine left because it's not profitable enough to make it, then maybe we'll all come together. Maybe when things actually get absolutely horrible, something will bring us all together and sing Kumbaya. I don't know.
Maybe when we're all on death's doorstep.
Yeah, maybe.
Finally, we'll consider accessible healthcare. What a way to end.
Yeah, no, super not depressing at all. I always am just an absolute shining beacon of light wherever I go.
Yeah, just a little existentialism to brighten your day.
Absolutely, that's what I'm here for.
What a society we live in. We live in a society.
Joker was right. We live in a society.
This is the most society I've ever seen.
Personally, I would have to agree. It's so society in its society-ness.
Truly, honestly, truly. Thank you for going down this wonderful existentialist trip with me.
Absolutely.
This was so fun. For the sinners at home again, please let them know where they can find you.
Yeah, so I'm Funky Frogbait on everything. You can find me on YouTube. I got an Instagram. I got a TikTok. I also am on Twitter. I like questionable things. Don't worry about that. Don't go looking for it. And I have had a wonderful time making this with you today. I think this has been super fun. Thank you so much for having me on the channel.
Likewise, thank you for being here, and thank you for being you.
Absolutely. All right, bye guys.
Alrighty, well, thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed today's video, make sure to give it the tiniest thumbs up possible and subscribe to both of us down below. Funky Frogbait channel will be linked in the description. We love you guys, and we'll see you soon with brand new videos. Bye!
Bye!
Put it to medium, just put it straight up to medium.
I say Trump wins 90% of the time. Have you seen that man?
Oh, he's daddy.
It's giving BBL, honestly. Grab your pitchforks, light the torches, bring out the guillotine, regrout your bathtub. Sorry, I ran out of things to say, though you should probably actually do that last thing. Hear ye, another celebrity has made a mockery of the working class, wearing their paycheck to paycheck pain as a costume. TikTok stars Charlie and Dixie D'Amelio, along with the parents that leech off their daughter's success, have recently partnered with Walmart to release a new line of popcorn under the name Be Happy Snacks, which, in a delicious twist of irony, has made a lot of people very not happy. Since these products are being exclusively sold at Walmart locations, the family filmed several videos promoting the snacks inside a store with the sisters decked out in Walmart uniforms. uniforms, flipping their hair and smiling for the camera as they pretended to work as employees. These videos have received significant backlash, especially towards Charlie herself, for being tone deaf in the context of a very real cost of living crisis that many Americans, especially those working service jobs at places like Walmart, are facing today.
Spider-Man Unlimited suit. Best suit, in my opinion. One of the best suits.
As usual, the peasants gathered in the town square. I mean, users went to Twitter to take turns on the virtual soapbox before inevitably returning to plow the fields. I mean, scan the groceries for their overlords. I mean, their overlords. Particularly, the TikTok posted to Charlie's official account, currently sitting at 7.4 million views, is flooded with comments accusing the two famous sisters of cosplaying as retail workers, making light of a job that is often grueling, thankless, and underpaid.
Now I have a Venom one. I already had this one. That looks pretty good, actually.
I wish I had enough money to cosplay as a retail worker. So fun being in the working class. Let's switch jobs. You can work my job as full-time cashier. I can barely afford to live as a retail worker, but I'm glad you're having fun, LOL. Rent is due in 2 days and I can't pay it even though I work 2 jobs 7 days a week, but so happy you're having fun. Now what we're not gonna do in this video is argue about whether or not these two sisters deserve to have amassed this much fame and fortune since 15-year-old Charlie did that one TikTok dance in 2019, even though, oh my god.
Wait. What the fuck?
2.5 million views and over 200,000 likes. But in order to get some perspective on the sheer lack of self-awareness in this promotion, it's important to point out just how much money the D'Amelio family rakes in every year. Massive sponsors such as Tamagotchi, Dunkin' Donuts, and Hollister pay Charlie hundreds of thousands of dollars for brand deals. Hulu has an entire show dedicated to the lives of her and her family members. It makes sense that watching someone whose net worth is in the tens of millions parade around in a uniform you dread putting on every morning would make you a little upset. Speaking of sponsors, are you serious? We're doing sponsors right now after I just made that point about... Seriously? You're part of the problem. You're part of the problem. You're part of the problem. No, but this is different. I'm making a self-aware joke about it. Oh no, not the Patreon too. Before I continue, I'd like to take a moment to talk about today's sponsor, Lelo. Black Friday is just around the corner, and while you're scrambling to find the perfect gifts for your loved ones, don't forget to buy something nice for your bits. Lelo's wide selection of luxury toys will have you singing Christmas carols through those long silent nights before Mariah Carey even hits the radio, and their incredible Black Friday deals include free makeup products with your purchase. Lelo's high-quality toys are perfect for adventurous souls who want to find new ways to explore their body, like the Enigma Wave. This triple stimulation massager offers 8 different modes, each with fully adjustable levels of intensity.
No.
For a day. Notable figures such as Lana Del Rey, Ed Sheeran, and Ariana Grande have also donned uniforms, gotten their asses up, and
one,
worked.
very small, and 2,
Sorry, I had
adults
to do
only.
it.
Not
But all
that
of these
means
viral
anything,
games
but...
of pretend had different receptions, and I think this was dependent on 2 things. 1, the existing reputation of the celebrity, and 2, it seems like celebrities who use this opportunity to engage and interact with fans dealt with a lot less backlash than those celebrities who use their 5 minutes of wage slavery as a photo shoot. These more successful appearances tend to be framed as giving back to the community, whereas the D'Amelio family was shuttled around the store to film a quick PR stunt while flanked on every side by a gray-clad, lanyard-bearing guard to protect them from the rabid commoners scrounging for frozen pizza rolls. If maybe instead TikTok's dancing darling had surprised fans at checkout in her little blue vest, offering to pay for their groceries and giving them samples of the stupid popcorn, maybe everybody would have just left their pitchforks at home. See, D'Amelios, I'm already a better PR manager than whoever you're currently overpaying. Consider this my application. Fire them. I will literally take like half their salary. So yay, we did it. Rich person did bad thing, and I said it was bad, therefore I am good. What a nice palatable video that goes down smoothly like skim milk. Let's pat ourselves on the back and cross our fingers, hoping this video makes the 8-minute mark so we can run as many ads as possible on it and turn off the camera. Except, I feel like no one is addressing the actual issue here, so let's roll up our sleeves and dig our hands into the muck. Maybe make ourselves a nice mud pie. First off, I'm gonna say that from the outside, it doesn't really seem like Charlie has that much control over her life, what she promotes and how she promotes it. Yet I'm seeing all of this anger directed towards this teenager who has been puppeted by Daddy and Dunkin' Donuts since her sophomore year of high school, instead of the people who are in charge of her. Of course it's fun to dunk on younger, richer, more attractive people than ourselves, to lay back in our armchairs with bits of lunch still tucked underneath our double chins, kicking our feet as we type out paragraphs about how entitled and bratty these TikTok stars are and how we just don't understand why anyone would watch them. Don't get me wrong, I love bullying people, but there's a bigger bad guy in the room. Isn't it weird that everyone's angry at Charlie for putting on a vest and pretending to work at Walmart and not talking about how insane it is that Walmart's paying Charlie more to put on that vest than they would for an employee's entire year's salary? Of course it's terrible to watch a teenager who hasn't had a single normal human interaction since she was 15 years old be paraded around in poor people's clothes on a contractual leash by whatever company pays enough money to buy her. But all of this would be a lot less dystopian if the people working for these companies could actually afford the damn popcorn that she's promoting, instead of, I don't know, worrying about the lunch debt their kids are racking up at school. Yes, pretentious Europeans in my comment section, I know that your kids don't have school lunch debt. I know that kids shouldn't have school lunch debt. No need to tell the frog the water's warm when he's already being boiled alive. Alright, let's do some math here. According to Indeed.com, the average Walmart cashier in my area makes about $13.52 an hour. Assuming a 40-hour work week, which is not always guaranteed, that gives us about $2,100 a month. After taxes, after childcare, after rent, after utilities, after countless more very necessary expenditures, that doesn't leave you much money to spend on no artificial flavors, all natural popcorn. You just might even have to settle for the people's popcorn. Nope, not Redenbacher. Great value. That's not even taking into account the very high possibility that a lot of people scraping by on these paychecks are about to lose their jobs in the upcoming decade as more and more of this labor is automated. But I guess, hey, at least I won't have to make awkward small talk with a robot in the checkout line. Hell, even the D'Amelios are not safe from automation. Pretty soon TikTok's gonna realize that it's a lot easier to push AI-generated teenage girls doing mediocre dances to users' phones for free. Hey D'Amelios, maybe you can rub some dirt on your face and pretend to be homeless to promote a new line of camping equipment. After all, even the richest of us is closer to homelessness than having even a fraction of the wealth enjoyed by the top 1%. Yes, Oscar Wilde, some of us will be stargazing from the gutter, but it's getting harder with all the light pollution. That was for you, English majors. Anyways, thank you for indulging me as I shake my fists at the powers that be.
Shake
but
your fists,
to conclude,
clutch your
yes, I
pearls.
do think that this Walmart ad was incredibly distasteful and reflects really badly on the whole D'Amelio family and everyone attached to them, not just Charlie. Somebody is being paid enough to know that this was a really, really bad idea in the midst of a housing crisis and student debt collection resuming. I was late on my first payment, and I'm still very upset about that. Many popular influencers in general seem to have forgotten, like, just how privileged we are. There are plenty of people who do content creation for a living who are insanely talented, and they deserve all the attention they get, but for every single one of those, there are countless people who are equally, if not more talented, that never get even a moment in the spotlight. A lot of this just comes down to pure luck. The people who watch you, the people who pay your damn bills, are the same people that have to clock into these miserable retail jobs that you're just treating like another costume. There's no telling when this internet clown parade will come to the end of the street and all of us will have to skitter back to our normal, boring jobs. At the end of the day, for massive creators like Charlie and smaller creators
Probably
like
never.
me, it's important to remember that we only get to do this because of the viewers. And without you guys, any one of us could end up...
But remember, viewers, there will always be more viewers. So even when you're dead and buried, there will be people to replace you from where you just left off. I know this because it happened to us. We've already seen it. Think about it. You've been watching a show, listening to a news broadcast, reading a book series that someone else who has died was reading or watching. You picked up where they left off. You see, there is no end to our daily grind. There's no end to entertainment. There's only more. Create. Craft. You must, for the algorithm's sake. You must do more. And with that, I'm gonna call it here. I'm gonna call it a night. I gotta go to bed. I gotta do this, do that. Probably not gonna stream tomorrow. Probably gonna just pack stuff up, do some laundry. Probably not too much streaming tomorrow. But that's okay because I might stream a little bit. I might play chess. Might play the finals for like an hour or so. You don't know. I don't know yet. But on Sunday, folks, I'm out of this place. I'm out of this forsaken, this freaking, disgusting place filled with people that just despise me. They just despise when I make noise, when I exist within the same areas. Then they despise it. But I've got a place of my own now. A place I can call my casa and your casa. And with that, I will leave you to enjoy the rest of your night. However much longer you have of night, and if you are watching this from the other side of the world, which I do have some viewers that could possibly be watching, that are awake and about to go to work, I just want you to know that you're a special person. I hope that everything goes right in your life. We all deserve the chance to move forward. But not everyone gets that chance. So remember how lucky you are to exist within a universe that deems you should not exist. Thank you, dear viewer. And until next time, I have been Lucky Luna, and I will see you tomorrow. Goodbye, good night, and good luck. May our paths cross again soon. Thank you for watching. and enjoy the music.